Good morning. I say morning. Who knows what time it is where you are, but the rooster's going to talk to us. All right. We are on the back of the Toadstead shop, and what we have up here, that is a Diamond F22 Alpha. It's a 2-meter antenna, and sorry about the shakiness. It just is the way it is. And let's just talk a little bit about the way it's mounted up. Those two brackets you can see I had hanging around. One of them actually held the tower to the house at the old place, and I had two of them. So you can see I flipped one horizontally and mounted it to the steel truss up towards the top, the inside top of the roof through the siding, and then flipped the bottom one vertically. Did the same thing, got it bolted through that a 2x2 inch steel beam that's underneath that siding, and it's bolted through for the mast. And that mast is actually the boom to an old sailboat that I had hanging around. It's aluminum, and then the diamond itself is mounted to that. And you can see the coaxial coming down. It's the black line. A little bit of a drip loop there, and then it goes up underneath it into the house. And then what I did for grounding was to come down. That's an old piece of Romex. It's what I had for now. Try not to trip over stuff. And it's just, again, affixed to the side of the building. And it comes down to this 8-foot ground rod that's driven into the ground right here. And all of the conductors on the copper are all twisted together and grounded. Now, I haven't done it yet. I'm going to put a cover over the top of that. I'm just going to put a cup or something like that over the top of it to keep the rainwater from getting up in there. And it'll allow me to inspect it, because I'm sure there's going to be some corrosion at some point in time. Start there, and I'll have to redo it. But at the other end, it's similarly put together and twisted onto the bottom of the antenna. Now I can get up there. Let's see if I can back up without killing myself. I can get to this antenna pretty easy using my ladder, and I can loosen, excuse me, I can loosen the base of the antenna and slide it down the mast pretty much right to the peak of the roof, which is only about 15 feet off the ground. And it's pretty easy to service. I don't like the idea of walking on this roof, so being able to get to it with my 2-story ladder works out pretty good. Now I'll take you inside and show you what it's hooked to. Okay, well, it's a little dark in here, but you can see the antenna on the outside there, and then it comes up through underneath the eave and runs right in that channel. And now you can see it in there. And just avoiding all of the sharp edges, this allows me to put it, kind of put it in a channel, and the tops of those beams are rounded, sitting on top of, so I don't have to worry about that too much. And then it comes down, and this is a temporary hookup, so I've got the rest of the extra coiled and just hanging right there. And it comes to the FT2900. Now, some of the old timers will recognize that unit in Washington, 11 meters sitting there. And I've got it run to the Astron power supply. Now, I need to say something about this. For those of you who've been following the channel, know that this type of radio is not unique to the Frog Toad or to the Toadstead. But we had a problem where the container, when I moved up here to the Toadstead, the container with this radio in it was water damaged, and the radio was destroyed. Now, there was no way I was going to be able to do this. There's just too much going on here to be able to afford to get back into it. And I was amazed. I got a private message from a REACT team out in Southern California that evidently saw the video of the water damaged radios and said, hey, look, we're kind of into helping people who are into ham radios, but for one reason or another have lost or don't have a radio. And to make a long story short, they sent me this radio, the coax, and the antenna, and said, hey, get back on the air. Wow. John, I don't want to use too much stuff in public, but John, thank you very much. This video is as much for you as anybody else. And I haven't tuned it yet. I just finished the setup. And I wanted to show you that your gift is up and running. I need to tune it. I need to get all the repeaters for this area tuned into it. But the Toadstead is on the air, thanks to you and your React team. I really appreciate it. Now, that aside, anybody who's thinking about getting into ham radio, which I'm going to do another video on communications and all that from the homestead self-sufficiency prepper standpoint, but safe to say that the FT2900 is, in my humble opinion, and in the opinion of others, one of the best 2-meter radios you can get. It's tough, it's powerful, it does the job, and it's not an expensive radio. Unlike the big high-frequency rig, which I have not set up yet. At some point I will, and we'll take you along when we do that. But thanks to the React team, thanks John. We are back online, so to say, just from our perspective. And we're going to have the 11-meter up as soon as I just got to grab an antenna and get it up on top of the building. But I'm going to get to tuning this thing and get back to talking. Thanks again. Appreciate it. See y'all next time around.